Hi people, and hello my Chili Con Carnage crew, it's Chili here, the man who produces Design for My Eyes, for a 5-minute review on Elton John's newest album, Who Believes in Angels. It seems Elton John has been enjoying his retirement and making the most of it, but he never retired from music, did he? No, that will never happen. His life is intertwined with this lifestyle, so it was only inevitable that he would of course record a new album, which was written with Brandi Carlile, and of course longtime songwriter partner Bernie Taupin. Although he is in a very limited sense, as in his own words, if I made another album with Elton John again, I'd kill myself. Of course he says this in jest. Now my curiosity for Elton John's music was never quite high, but I did hear a lot of good things about his biopic, Rocket Man, and I have to admit, I was blown away by that movie, which felt like it was produced as extravagantly as it caused the musician's lifestyle, but also that mind-blowing soundtrack which hooked me instantly to check out more of his stuff, and of course, more than just his surface level singles that I had heard. Yes, you can consider me enamored by the musician and his music, so when I heard that a new album was in the works, and of course it was to be released shortly, of course I had to check it out. Right from the start, we are met by a very infectious earworm of a tune, The Rose of Laura Nero, a song that harkens to his style and builds with a crescendo in the way that, of course, Elton can only do so. It is further primed by Brandi's vocals, which add another layer to this effort, and, in all honesty, probably helped drive the focus away from Elton's performance, which in all honesty, his vocals are certainly not great. But when you get to his age, I think you can be forgiven for no longer hitting those notes as well as you used to. Plus, you know,
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Still, the fun continues on to the following track, Little Richard's Bible, which does pay homage to the legend himself and is one hell of an upbeat piece. Seriously, if your ass is still in the seat when you're listening to this, then maybe it's for medical reasons. Now, there are certainly ballads on here with songs like Never Too Late, which are just fine, but don't exactly reach the dizzying highs that can be heard with his past material. Admittedly, they never would though, of course. There are also songs on here that are essentially Brandi's solo pieces, like You Without Me. Now, the lead single and title track was an interesting piece, which I felt a bit conflicted when I heard it. It's not a bad piece, but it kinda treads water as a ballad that sounds like Bowie's hook from Life of Mars, but it didn't quite sink its hooks into me when I first heard it, and still remains so to this day. Now look, I had my doubts when it came to this album. I was certainly unfamiliar with the guest musician, and Elton is a musician with quite a few dud albums as well, admittedly. I had a guess that his new effort was going to be a mediocre affair, as Brandi would pick up the slack for an aging musician, but gee, how wrong I was, and how criminal it seems to be that age is perhaps the main factor as to his retirement, because this is a really fun album, and I enjoyed it far more than I thought I would. Well, it's not a flawless effort of course, and I was certainly excited to swing for the fences as one of those lulls in the album. The record as a whole contains more enjoyable tracks than forgettable ones, however. Now I must also mention the other musicians that helped record this album, as there are quite a few big names on here, but namely producer Andrew Watt performing guitar duties, Josh Klinghoffer performing synthesizer and keyboards on most tracks, and Chad Smith lending his hand for the drum works on here. It's perhaps a shame that Flea wasn't asked to perform bass duties on here, because, you know, this essentially could be a Red Hot Chili Peppers album with Elton and Brandi singing on it. I kid, come on now. Of course the music on here is to Elton's style. I mean, you know.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Overall, I'm going to give this album a score of 7 million chilies on the spicy scale, with my favourite tracks being The Rose of Laura Nero, Swing for the Fences, and The Riverman. You gotta love Elton's ability to just come out swinging, and I think his attitude is summed up in one sentence on the album with the start of Never Too Late, when he states,
Baby, fuck off heaven's gate.
Now, while it's not a perfect record, it is an interesting departure compared to some of his other material, and it dwells more into, I guess, folksy country in some parts even as well. The short runtime certainly adds to the value of this record, as it doesn't overstay its welcome, even if the second half of this album tended to drag in sections. Still, I managed to enjoy this album for the better, and trust me, my bar wasn't set very high. But I mean this as a compliment, even though it may come across as a backhanded one. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and let the comment section do its thing, because I want to hear your thoughts on this album. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your favourite tracks? As always, stay spicy out there. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to us, and stay notified for future music related content because it keeps our manager happy at the end of the day. We are also on Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and all those other social platforms if you want to check us out. As always, people, you have a great day and stay spicy.